So today this is the motor that came out of this Integra, and we've taken the transmission, we've split it apart. We've come to the conclusion that we need a new clutch. The discs still look half decent, but they're worn down quite a bit. We're just going to replace it because we're in here, right? All the springs still feel pretty good, but we're this far into this motor, we might as well replace it while we're in here. This right here is the new motor, and he has no idea if it runs. He was told it runs. He says it's got low kilometers on it. But the main problem that we have is this came out of an automatic, and that's a manual. So what we have to do now is we basically have to disconnect the entire harness from this motor, put it right there out of my way, disconnect the entire harness from that motor, and switch it on. Now he does have some stuff missing off this, like oil pressure sensors and stuff like that. The distributor cap has been broken on this one in the moving processes, so we will be switching out distributor caps, all that fun stuff as well. I don't really want to switch the distributor itself, just the caps. So we're going to get going on this, and thanks for watching. Let's keep going. When I removed that harness off the other one, I labeled it because electrical seems not to be my strong suit. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and reenact this the whole way. So I think it goes like this. But this is going to work. I have high to medium expectations for this. So let's get this put back together. So the next thing is to start changing over all the motor mounts and flywheel, basically wait for the clutch to come. This thing here has been stripped of most of its major brackets, including the brackets that help hold the motor to the transmission. He probably sold the transmission or used it for something else, so it doesn't really bother me because that was an automatic, and like I said, this is a manual. So let's start switching over everything, including flywheel. I'm going to leave some of the brackets that hold the motor to the transmission off until we get it into the truck and into the car and better situated, just because it's going to be a little bit of an inconvenience if I have to flip the motor on its side to remove those. So now that the wiring harness is all switched over, this is the motor that's no longer good, and that's the motor that is good. But I need that motor on this stand, and I need this motor on that stand. Now I have an engine stand, I just lent it to a buddy and I haven't got it back. It's probably been 6 months. So I've used a seat belt. What anybody at home would do, I went around the intake and the exhaust manifold on both sides, and we're just going to switch them over. So let's see if these seat belts will hold up. By the way, I know they will. Ta-da! So let's just switch over to carts and dollies. Seat belts are one of the most useful tools in the world. If you ever go to the scrapyard and you need to get stuff out of there, if you just take a seat belt and go around the vehicle with the seat belt, you'll honestly have no problems getting the car out. So this is the motor we want on the doll. And I want it, I guess I can spin it when it's on there, so that doesn't really matter. I'm just going to drop her down. Now this is the motor I want on the two-wheel dolly. Oh, it looks like she's got a long way to go. So there you go, boys and girls. Seatbelts are really, really useful tools. And the best part is we just tied a couple useful knots. So when we're done, we can just remove the seatbelt right out of there. And we still have it to tie our door shut. So, multi-use tools, that's for sure. So the last thing that we're going to do today is we're going to change out the distributor caps. Because that one there is broken. I wasn't going to do this until the end, but realistically, I'm waiting for parts. I can't really put the transmission back on now because I'm waiting for obviously a clutch and a pressure plate and a throw bearing and all the basically a new clutch kit. Can't do anything with the exhaust because the car's not into it. Can't bolt the axles on because the axle bolts to the side of the transmission. So basically right now it's just a big waiting game. So thanks for watching Zach's workshop. We've done what we can with this car today, and as soon as we get the parts tomorrow, we're going to throw them all together, and hopefully we can get this in the transmission back on, and hopefully in the car. So take care and see you guys here tomorrow.